basically, that is a very, very important that we should basically, the financial management is one of the things. Even though AMI has a staff, why not we can start the e-masters program? Can we get the approval from the AICT and other things, and we can start e-masters for business people? Even though in IITs now they have started earning money, huge money. Even though in IIT there is this year in IIT Kanpur there's a 5 e-masters programs are started. This e-master no need to come here. Only this examination they have to come, or maybe just like that. And they are charging 8 lakhs rupees minimum for this one course to complete. And it is a period is from 1 year to 3 years. So similar type of program you can develop. We can even approach to the AICT or maybe UGC, wherever we require, we can recognize our degree, of course. Without recognition, if you are doing, nobody will come. So that if you can do, I can tell you this is also another sustainable model that we can do. Nowadays in COVID, the online programs, online even the faculty development program, there's a very, very good program that a lot of people will try to register and try to have the 1 week program. For example, machine learning, like your data, all these various even the subjects, their security. Those are emerging, and that is the coming together. Just we can have 1 week to 1 month programs, and we can train by the practice and all this the tool and everything we can do. That will be certainly that will be increasing, and that will be giving. Even though we can, what we are giving to our undergraduate student or graduate student during which suppose he is becoming member, can we give the internship? Because many people are connected with the industry. We can basically have some pool of the industries. We can come forward and we can apply for 1 month, because that's mandatory training nowadays, even though ministry is going to tell. Earlier also it was 1 month to 2 months. It was the summer training. Normally it was stopped. Due to COVID, it was waived up. But that can be also given. Even though IEEE is trying this so that we can give some internship, or we can arrange some sort of lectures and then some practice in some engineering college or industry, wherever you can say. That is also then people will be trying to become member to get all these benefits. So we have to have some policy, and that policy is very thought-provoking. We have to debate very open-minded. It is not very conjecture idea. What I have found in the most of this institution of engineers, mostly those are the old people, or those are retired, those are near to when the 70s, they are making policy of institution of engineers. They don't know what is the need of our today, and that is a mistake. So we have to take our young minds also in our even the committees. We have to consult them. We have to ask them what is needed. And if you are connected with them, then your policy will be very effective, and that is the need of the hour. If you are isolated, sitting somewhere in the 5-star hotel or somewhere, I'm not saying 5-star anywhere, and you are not connected, those are basically the takers, and you are not consulting, you are not having in your committee completely, this will be lost. So even though we have to change our organization system also, why not we can have the young people, those are there is some young professionals just graduated. They can be also a council members. Why only those will be senior people? So that I think, just I'm saying, this institution of engineers required a complete reorganization change. And that's for that you should have a very strong, and whatever the policy act institute, we can basically change so that we can revive our glory, and that is basically needed of this. So already I talked about the conferences. We should have the contact, that is basically required. Membership fee, we can also have some different policy, because we are the Indians, and Indians are having a very less paying capacity. And no doubt, if you are increasing the fees, membership will go down. If you are reducing, membership will increase, but its effectiveness and sustainability will not there. So can we have the first year free to all the members? After second year, once they will pay, otherwise they will be out. So just, you have to give certain offer, certain incentive. And I can tell you, if I want to become a member, and if there is certain awards and recognitions that are very, very important. If you have certain these policy better, I found the awards are there. Young Engineer Awards of Institution of Engineers, I know. And there are other, but they are very limited in proportional to our membership. And we can have the state level, we can have the local level, we can have the central level, and all these various levels and various type of the awards and recognitions can be sponsored by even the industry. Not a single point is required, I can tell you. Many people can give the crores of rupees for awarding this awards, and that we can start. Only it is the need of the pursuance. It is a need of pursuance. And once that will be coming, I can tell you, people will be by force, and they will come, and they will, oh, this award is very high and powerful, and that people will be coming. And that's the skill we have to. So the many ways, of course, it is maybe my idea, and some of the idea can be debatable. I'm not saying all my ideas are correct, but we can debate, and we can see, and we can look forward. Always our thinking should be forward. It's not that anyone is putting this idea that is only the permanent. We can debate, we can change according to the need, and that is basically needed. And I believe this should be very, very important, because our old members, those have contributed for institution of engineers, what you are giving to them? Can you recognize them in properly the state and other centers levels? I found nothing. What do you give? One sal or sometime with the mercy of the chairman. I have seen even the Kanpur local center. I don't know what is the central level, that's Calcutta level people are doing. So, sir, I only believe that we have to connect our young minds. We have to take advices of old people, and let's, even though the middle people should lead along with the complete package with the old and the new young minds together, along with the various sectors. So those council members are going to be elected if all the teams are coming. We have to distribute one area to each council member. It is not suppose I'm winning for the electrical division members and I should only talk about electrical. We should have certain, no doubt there are directors, there is many posts they have created, but that is not effective, I believe. That is not effective. We have to have some pyramidal way where we have to take the local center, state centers, then on top, and that is basically keep on having interactions, keep on having the policy. So I believe that it is a very highly debatable issue, and we have to work to maintain the past glory, and that's why this rebuilding EI is basically coming together. That's I expect that we should do something once we won, certainly, even though we will be not winning and winning this altogether, madam. Now we have reached in our blood. Now we have to do for the institution in Julian. Thank you very much. Again, we'll be discussed during the panel. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As dear corporate members, as rightly said by Professor Srinivas Singh, who is a professor of higher academic grade in IIT Kanpur, the present situation is that, like, if any organization, if they do not have a defined organization policy, and as rightly said by him, in framing a policy for the body like Institution of Engineers, young minds should also be equally involved to understand what are the things happening in the industry, what are the things happening in the market, and how to incorporate those things in the present system and make a proper frame policy for which the involvement of all of the stakeholders is very, very important, which is somehow missing in the present, management of the IEI. So thank you, sir, for giving such an eye-opening session. Thank you so much. So now I would like to request Mr. Inderdeep Singh. So I'd like to give a brief introduction about Inderdeep Singh. He's an entrepreneur who have been he's basically a civil engineer and an entrepreneur who've been in the industry for more than 2 decades with various, working in various projects in various capacities. And I would request now, without giving a brief introduction, Mr. Inderdeep Singh to take over the session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Dheeraj. Purpose of getting to this session was basically increasing membership. Yes, that's one of them. But what benefits, like Dr. Singh said and Dr. Aloknath Deji said, the purpose is what benefits as an Institute of Engineers we are able to impart to our budding engineers and all to our members. Important point is today that what I have felt, I've been associated with Institute of Engineers for a long time, and today I am a member of Civil Engineering Committee for Faridabad Local Center. And of late, what I've seen is that there's a total no connect between the Institute of Engineers and the academia, the students, the student members. We say, yes, we should have student members, but how many student members have actually come into foray? We have got, membership quotas for students, and we've got wonderful incentives for students. Students are not coming. Reason is the lack of recognition, lack of activities from Institution of Engineers body itself. My point is that if we need to have our budding engineers into the fold, which was as per the data of the report of Ministry of Education, more than 8 lakh engineering graduates are churning it every year. And very minuscule percentage of those students are getting into the folds of Institute of Engineers, which means that we have a lot to do to help those children coming out of the college or in the college also to have a body. Once they graduate, they are left into a world of impossibilities. The people, because the curriculum today is not designed for the industry, and the children who are passing out, the students who are passing out, they need to have a connect from industry and academia, and that bridge can be done only by Institution of Engineers, a body like that. First of all, important is that increasing membership. Second important is giving benefits to the student members. And as far as benefits is there, I have one point which I would like to highlight. Is there are many needy and meritorious students are in our institutions who vie for good financial support so that they can go ahead in their postgraduate studies, or even in their even their undergraduate studies also. So as the Institute of Engineers India, what my point is that we should have some portion reserved for awarding scholarships to needy and meritorious students. Like a brief calculation has been made that, okay, we've got first for student membership, let's say we've got charges of 1,500 rupees, which is split on, let's say for 4 years, 375 rupees per year. If we have a target around 4 to 5 lakh of student members out of 8 lakh members, we have a surplus cash which we can churn out, give into for needy and meritorious students, and we can help around 10 to 15,000 of the students with every year, let's say 10 to 12,000 rupees per annum. We can give them just scholarships. So that is one of the calculations which we can think on that. At this forum, I would I would like to present this case that getting into IEI is not important. Giving important thing is that what benefits IEI can give it to its members, to its student members, to its fraternity, to engineering fraternity. Like Dr. Srinivas Singh said, why a person should become a member? That's important, because today as a student, if I get into, if I'm passing out of the college, I don't know what is the benefit Institute of Engineers is giving to me. There are many bodies across. If you say architecture, they've got a wonderful Indian Institute of Architects who are working for architectural bodies. Then you've got Institution of Lighting Engineers. You've got your Association of Engineers for Heating and Ventilation. So those associations are working independently. Why not we should have one body, a body which is able to justify and which is able to impart good knowledge and support to budding engineers. So that's important. And we have to keep in mind that a student engineer, if he is passing out, he will be a corporate member. We are always vying for a corporate membership. But important is that if we should start working from the grassroots level, at an academia level, I think we can get those members, and those patronizing those members, they will be lifetime members for Institute of Engineers. And then, yes, they'll be able to provide a new direction to Institute of Engineers. So my point is, let's go in for high membership, give benefits in their industry academia interactions. And third is meritorious students and needy students should be given scholarships to give them a chance, and Institute of Engineers body should give them a chance to come up ahead. That's my submission for this forum. Thank you, Dheeraj.
Thank you so much, Indradeep, for going into the insights of the various aspects of the students and the members. So now I request Dr. Zakir Hussain Molla. He is the General Manager and the Head Corporate Sustainability Division for HPCL, and he's a mechanical engineer. So I would request Dr. Zakir Hussain to please address the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Engineer Dheeraj. Thank you, all others in the panel and all the participants who have joined here for this program. I would first of all thank Relearning Rebuild IEI for organizing this program. Actually, this is a very interesting subject. We have been thinking of this for a long time, and it should be one of the main important things of discussions. Now, our previous speakers, particularly Mr. Singh as well as Mr. Aloknath, has already deliberated in details on various aspects of it. If we have to go back to the human psychology as to why human act with a purpose, even if in selfishness, even in philanthropy also, there is a purpose behind it. So we'll have to understand that there has to be a value created by IEI, which will draw people to its name. If people do not find any value, they will not definitely come. So we'll have to, it is our owners, the members of IEI have to create that value, create that drive so that people come in great number. It is a very unfortunate thing that when there are more than 2 crore engineers there in a country, only 1.5 lakhs are actively involved in IEI activity. It is a meager number. So there are many things that Professor Singh has suggested. One of the areas could be catch them young. Go to the institution, enroll them, give them scholarship, which Indrajit was also talking about. And maybe from there, they start finding value. Now we are a big mass of people. The banks, they are giving loans even for the government employees, private employees, PSCs, organizations, even in those who are working in organized sector, they are also giving them money. But once you create a huge sum of people who are there in the net of IEI, maybe that time it will be a big bargaining power for us to go to the institution and seek for their membership. They'll be looking for it because the engineers, they're the builders of nations. They'll be there in various positions. Engineers are not only there for creating a dam or creating an engine, they are there for running the country. They are there to create possibilities. They are there to create human facilities. So if those are the number of people who are there we are talking of, then the banks, not only banks, all institutions will come forward, not only to help them, but also to get benefit out of this engineering. So what we are thinking is that there are structures things available. If you go to automobile manufacturers, they have a structured loaning arrangement for the people who are working in corporates. They have a systems of doing that. So we can certainly create these things for IEI. IEI members also will be requiring various types of loan. First of all, they may require loan for their own higher educations. They can require loan for their home, their motor loan. They can require for their startup loans, their businesses, capacity, CapEx as well as OpEx, as well as the loans for their offspring's educations. So there are a number of things. If you think about the number of funds that an engineer will require in his lifetime, and if a banker is able to associate with him, catching them young, it is a gold mine for them. Only thing that we are not have been able to create as a mass and approach the bank. Maybe rebuilding engineers is thinking this way, and I can see that there's a great success. We'll be able to do it very soon. And that time we don't have to go to the banks. In fact, banks will come to us and tell that you tell your member to take loans from us. We'll give special benefits. Now, before we create a pool for ourselves, we have to increase the number of membership. As Professor Singh was telling, or they was also telling, Indership also telling, there is find a greater disconnect between engineers and the corporates as such. Because we find even if you take the members, 1.5 lakh members who are active in IEI, a major part of them could be from academics only. The industries, the corporates still are not participating in a very big number. In fact, I have been talking to many young engineers and asking them why you have not become members. So they have many reasons to not becoming members. Not only they are not looking for immediate benefit out of that, because many of them are not aware also that there is a thing that is there. So to create this awareness, we'll have to propagate the message not only among the engineers, maybe the institutions. We'll have to catch the institution first. We'll have to involve them. We can create a kind of relationship with all the engineering institutes. And the moment a person enters into an engineer, he joins there, we give them some kind of students members, then take them to the next members. And from the nominal amount of membership can also help us to give a scholarship as in the first this thing. So maybe from the funds that we generate by enrolling people, that can only help them to reap out the benefits in a greater level. So once we start that, the moment he passes out from the institution gives that the feedback to us that they are the member, they automatically become member. Now we have to also, as Professor Sinha was telling, we'll have to make things easier for our people to join. Because if one has to join, it has to be certified by 2 members to join the Institute of Engineers, then it becomes a problem. If the institutions also is there in between, institutions certify a member that he has passed out from this institute, this is his mark sheet, he can automatically be enrolled. So this is the way we can possibly go on and catch them there from the institution itself, and they continue. And regarding various other benefits, they are learning, they're keeping them abreast of the development. All those things will also follow, so that their aspirations to grow, taking engineering as their armor, that also helps them to proceed. So there is a great deal of things that we can possibly do for engineers, and it will be very, very beneficial, not only for IEI, even for the engineering community to get associated with Institute of Engineers. Because once they see value in their career progressions, in their economic drive, in their family requirement, in their financial requirement, in their positions in the society, then they will definitely fall in line. Then we don't have to go to them again that you come and become member. They themselves will propagate it so nicely that people will flock in. The moment they join an engineering college, they said, okay, I want to become a member of the engineering. Rebuilding IEI is an initiative which is certainly going to bring repute to the Institute of Engineers in such a way that people will now come back to IEI to become a member, and we don't have to really change up. This is a vicious cycle to be converted into virtuous cycle. We are sure that the rebuilding team will be able to create a virtuous cycle where engineers comes to IEI, IEI again brings engineers. So the virtuous cycle will continue, so that a greater number of engineers can join IEI, and IEI can bring back its old recognitions, old reports, and it can become one of the main institutes in the country, which will be not only propagating in the area of education, but also in the area of economic development and nation building. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hussain. It was very insightful session which you've given for all of our participants across the globe, across India. Now I request Dr. Anil Kumar, who is the former SDG in charge and the Deputy Director General of the Institution of Engineers, and request sir to address today's session. Thank you so much. There is some technical glitch.
Thank
I
you,
suppose.
Mr. Dhiran.
Thank you, sir.
It's indeed my great pleasure.
So I think there is some disturbance in your voice from your end. You need to check it out. Or you can switch off your video and you can go on with the audio, sir. Maybe some connectivity issue. Dr. Anil Kumar, sir, are you able to hear me? Please switch on your mic, sir, your speaker.
Sorry, I got disconnected for a minute. It's indeed my great pleasure to be part of this webinar, which is going on in full swing, and more particularly discussing a very important issue about the role of membership in carrying forward the message about the Institution of Engineers. In fact, rebuilding II as a team, when they realize that there has been a total disconnect between the institution and the members. When we talk about the members, we talk about not only the corporate members, but institutions as well. There's a total disconnect. Even teachers from reputed institutions, they feel pleased to use the name of IEEE rather than using the name of Institution of Engineers India. So when this is a situation and teachers are not very much inclined to become the member of institutions, naturally they will not encourage the students as well to become the members. Initially, when we go back 35 years back, when we were the students, almost most of the institutions were having a student chapter and they were playing a bigger role. I personally became the part of II as a member of the student chapter at second year engineering. But presently, these things are lacking. Even most of the institution does not know, a student does not know what the IEI. So rebuilding II has taken a massive mandate to create an awareness and to create an enabling mechanism where not only II role can be re-established as a professional body, II can play a bigger role among the students and teachers as well. Now, regarding the membership, our members and our esteemed Rebuilding II team members have discussed a number of things with you, but let me share with you what is the Rebuilding II mission and vision. When we are carrying forward the agenda, what we are having for Rebuilding II. First and foremost requirement for Rebuilding II, we have kept in mind administrative and financial restructuring. For that, we have already had a detailed webinar about the business process automation for ensuring transparency in action and decision, including financial rules compliance. To save AMI in the new structure format, through court or negotiation at the government level, diversification of II for making it a skill hub in line with National Education Policy 2020 and National Skill Qualification Framework. Diversification of II for valuers examinations training. I will be discussing this issue a little more detail. Close and active partner of the government, impressing upon to define II through an act of parliament and engineers registration, acting with the government, helping them for policy formulation and its implementation in all the areas of engineering, and a special emphasis of technical journal publication, technical activities, national and international level, enhancing visibility, making II more acceptable and relevant. And finally, when we can achieve all those things, we can easily restore its glory, and we can very well tell the II has been re-established, having its past glory. Now let us talk about the two issues I have discussed with you. One was that II can be revived and diversified in two ways. Number one, creating it a big skill hub by diversifying II in line with National Education Policy 2020. And second, formation of a new company under II, under Indian Company Act, Registered Valuer Organization, RVO. I will take only 2 minutes time to explain you what is the RVO and how II can play a bigger role. Earlier, almost every chartered engineer, and rather I can say almost every engineer was a chartered engineer by an act of, by the Royal Charter of II, and every chartered engineer was entitled for all aspects of building engineering, including its valuation. But after the formation notification of central government under section 247 of Company Act 213 and its effect on 18 October 2017, the valuer, the valuation will be done by a valuer who has gone through a process of registration. And how this can be done, let us discuss on that. II now may consider for formation of a new organization under the name of Institution of Engineers Valuers, a registered organization under Indian Company Act under Section 8. And large number of institutions, the one may call what is Section 8 companies. Section 8 companies are as good as having the same mandate of a trust or a society, and they are 100% non-profit bodies, but at the same time they are being registered and regulated under Indian Company Act. The central government notified the commencement of section 247 relating to valuers of the Company Act 243 with the effect from
Anil Kumar sir, I think you got disconnected once again.
Valuers and Valuation Rules 2017 on 18 October 2017, meaning thereby 18 October 2017 has a landmark day in the education of valuers education, valuers examinations, and valuers registration. The central government, by another notification 23rd October 2017, issued the company removal of difficulties 2017 to provide that valuers and valuations required under the Company Act 2013 shall be undertaken by a person who having the necessary qualification and experience and being a valuer member of a recognized valuer organization and is registered as a valuer with the authority. So friends, from October 2017 onward, any chartered engineer by this Company Act is no more a valuer. For a valuation, he has to be a valuer, and for a valuer, he has to be registered by going through a process. While another notification, the central government delegated its power for the overall control and monitoring and valuers examinations and valuer registration to the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, IBBI. And they have specified IBBI as the authority under the company's registered valuers and valuation rules 2017. Meaning thereby under company rules 2017, IBBI has been created as a body, and that body is a central government nodal national body who will be looking after all affairs of the valuers, education, examination, and registration. No other body in the country other than IBBI will be entitled for that. So the moment IBBI created, there was a big scope for II also. But very unfortunately, in spite of my personal written note on the issue and personal advice, both verbal and written, to a number of presidents for the last 2-3 years, nothing has happened. Rather, what they have done, you'll be surprised to know. They have become a course seller agent of ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. Institute of Chartered Accountant of India has formed under Section 8 RVO company, and under RVO company, they are doing all aspects of valuers education, examination, etc. Because to become an eligible for the valuer examination, one has to become a member of Section 8 company formed under Registered Valuers and Valuation Rules 2017. Number one. Second requirement is you are a fit and proper person, has necessary qualification and experience, and you are a valuer member of the RVO. Valuer member of the RVO. You have not passed out as of yet. And then you have completed a recognized educational course as a member of RVO. And then you are recommended by that RVO for registration as a valuer. And before registration, your examination will be conducted by IBBI. Many companies, professional bodies like Institute of Valuers, ICAI, and many others in the market have already formed the registered valuers organization to remain relevant in the Indian market and grab the vast opportunity in the field of training, examination, certification, capacity building of valuers and valuation. If do not write on the occasion, even if it is not late today, it will become too late by the time the whole market will be captured. But my humble advice through this platform to the II president and entire council that please do not become a stook of ICAI. They are selling the course of ICAI and they are telling it is a jointly organized program. No, sir, it is not a jointly organized program. The program ICAI is registered RVO company under Section 8, under IBBI. The programs are being run by them, course has been designed by them, examination is being conducted by them. So II has no role to play except on their website to sell their program, that institutional engineers members can avail certain rebates on their courses. So still it is a big scope, and if we are not rising to the occasion, it will become too late. Because valuation is one area. I'm not going to discuss, there are 3 categories of valuation, but the Indian engineers, particularly civil and architectural engineers, had been entitled for a registration of valuer under building and property. Electrical mechanical has been made eligible for registration of valuer under plant and machinery. And securities, asset, etc., financial, for that ICAI pass out, Institute of Cost Accountants pass out, Institute of Company Accountant pass out, or MBA in finance. So they have laid down the qualification. So for at least for the engineering discipline of civil, electrical and mechanical, this is a big area. We have lost the area, and it is a time that IIT should form a Section 8 company in line with any of the IIT. They can get the format from the website also, and under Section 8 company, they can create an RVO. For RVO, they have to comply minimum formalities with the IBBI under Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and through that, they can become as good as an RVO for providing a valuer examination, education, examination, and assessment. Finally, certification is granted by IBBI, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So friends, with these few words, I would like to end it over here with the one line again to say that Rebuilding II has a great mission and vision for Institutional Engineers India, and we are for and for only Institutional Engineers India. Our only motive is that downward trend of Institutional Engineers India be arrested and its past glory is restored. Past glory can be restored only when your all arms and wings are functioning, and your all arms and wings will be functioning only when you will remain relevant to the changing demand of the society. Earlier, by virtue of your qualification of civil, electrical, mechanical, you are simply becoming a valuer. Now the time has gone, though it has not been banned, but by an act, nobody can become valuer unless he is a member of the IBBI through passing an exam after conducting a course of the RVO. So it is high time, that II should diversify, and we rebuilding team, after getting a chance to be in the council, this will be one of the first top priorities for us. Many priorities were fixed up: restructuring of administrative and financial structures of II, business process automation, diversification for RVO under Section 8 company for valuer examination, again making II the skill hub, revival of II in a restructured format, and many more. RVO for valuer examination will be one of the area which will make us connect with the members directly and making us relevant, visible in the market. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Dheeraj, to give me
Thank you,
an
sir.
opportunity to share my views with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Anil Kumar, sir, for your valuable inputs. So before we go out for the wind-up, there are some, we would like to take some few questions from some of the attendees in today's webinar. So one attendee is asking, like, can we, like, the students and the faculty members integrate and make a meeting physically and take a roadmap how to run this AMI program? So I request any one of you to answer this if it is possible.
Yeah, it is possible, sir.
Okay, sir. And
the members who want for fixing a meeting, they can send a formal mail to the address given to you on Rebuilding II, and we will fix up a time. We will develop the mechanism when and how this can be done very shortly, sir.
So the next question is that, like, many of the attendees, they're asking, so what are the chances of recognition? Because since several students have lost their age and all, and there is no hope from the present management. It is written in the this thing, sir.
Sir, if you allow me, I will respond to that.
Please, sir.
Presently, we are not the administrator of the IIE. From outside IIE, as a great supporter and a dedicated worker, being the corporate member, and I have a great feeling for IIE, we have taken this initiative, and we do believe that honest efforts are being taken. IIE can be recognized in a restructured format. Probably as a personal and individual mind, in the present format, it may not be, but the present leadership are lacking vision. They do not know how to move forward. So I will request all my alumni that please encourage all alumni to give a chance to the team of rebuilding IIE from all the disciplines. And we believe that much more can be done for revival of AMI with a new and restructured format.
Thank you so much, sir. So I think we have discussed the key features by our different panelists, and winding up on this today's membership enrollment and additional membership benefit program. I would like to thank you first of all to all the attendees and the participants from across India who have spared their valuable time and attended this program, and thank you so much. And also I request all of you, in order to address all the issues of the pending issues of the members and the student members across India, this rebuilding IEI team, if voted to power, will definitely try to address all the issues raised by the our student members as well as our corporate members. And finally, I would like to thank all the panelists for making this event a very glorious event. And thank you so much. And with this last note, I will say Jai Hind and Namaskar. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.